So I am going to now, we're kind of going to go into this last little part. And there's two things I wanted to do. First, I did want to show you a plugin that I think embodies Vim correctly. It was written by this person. I did tweet out, I asked him, Timothy Pope, as you know, the Pope of Vim, which of his two pictures could we use? And of course, instead, someone just made this, which I feel like is the most appropriate form we could make for Tim Pope. And it contains all the right facets to be able to do this. There we go. Everything's ready. We're awesome. See, I'm still using Plug, just like what I showed you to use. Plug. Plug's great. All right, good. So I don't think anything broke. So the plugin I really, really like is called Fugitive. If I do this, what it is Fugitive allows you to look at Git. Right? There's a whole set of things around Git. Now, why it embodies the Vim kind of spirit is that I can walk up to it and I can press a single character and it does exactly what I think. I'm going to do S for stage. I want to stage all of it. I want to unstage all of it. I want to stage these two things. I want to take this T that we did and I just want to get rid of it, right? It's gone. It's not a part of this. It's been deleted from my system. It's also out of all of this. I can add all these together and then I can press CZZ. I've just stashed all those changes. They're now in my Git stash. I can do CZA, come right back to where we were, be able to do that. I can go on top of this. I can look at the two differences between these. I can go to the previous file, right? You can actually see right here, I'm inside of Get. I'm actually inside of the other one, the historical one. I can navigate back out of here. I can go to the new one. This is the one we're doing right now. It has a bunch of stuff, and everything is all done via the keyboard, but not just simply scrolling to each choice, right? So when I wanted the stash, CZZ, it is just like another command to do exactly what I want. Sure, it takes a long time to get to know all of these commands, but in the end, what makes it so powerful is that it's just like the rest of Vim. When I want to do something, like muscle memory takes over and it just does it. I don't have to scroll to the right place to be able to add the right things. I don't have to do all that. Instead, I can just do the action. I can do CC. I can go right into a commit message, right? Do all that, commit it. It'll show me everything that's changed. I can git push and just push it right onto master. Sorry, Vim Nav Playground, you just got a whole bunch of extra stuff. And it's going to go do that. I luckily cloned it down with HTTPS, so it doesn't work for me to push it up. It's going to try to ask me to do that. But this is something that I think embodies the right method, which is whenever you're doing things with Vim, you should try to think, why am I not pressing like a couple keys to do what I want? Why am I searching? Why am I taking this extra time? Why am I treating it as if it's like a mouse-based UI and I'm trying to find the right thing? Something is fundamentally broken about that, and you'll never really enjoy the fast speeds of it all if you're always having to do this like kind of slow-based searching to get everything done. And that's kind of how I think the ideal plugins work. It's also why I've said multiple times that I'm not the biggest fan of fuzzy finders. I think fuzzy finders are great stopgaps, but if they're your primary form of navigation, I do think it's wrong. Because if you're in any sizable project, you have to type in a decent amount of characters to get to where you want, and then you end up having like just the dumbest set of characters in your head, like, oh, I need to go to performance handler, I gotta go capital P, E, capital H, A, N, D, right? Like you have to come up with like all these ways to be able to get to what you want, and it's like never the right way, right? That's kind of how I think about it, is that great for stopgap, great for the 0 to 60, but there has to be better. Well, then the next thing you can do is you can always use your already loaded buffers. This is better because then the amount of stuff you type is much, much smaller, right? Now it's smaller, it's a little bit easy, but still, there's a lot of cognitive overhead. I just think something about this still doesn't feel quite the right way. And I think this works with any plugin. Any plugin you use that requires you to think a lot instead of memorizing some command that becomes second nature as you use it enough times, I feel like something's broken about that. Some things you just can't get away from, right? New project, you gotta fuzzy find your way in.